Pretty good view this morning, Tuesday, June 30th. That's Toad Lake down there. Last night I stayed at, I think I might have mentioned, I can't remember, but I was at Porcupine Lake. And felt kind of lazy this morning. I started hiking about 6:30. That's about 45 minutes ago. So it's been a really nice morning. It might be a warm one today, I think, but we'll see. Beautiful day so far, though. There's another view of Mount Shasta. Camera doesn't do it justice. I mean, compared to the rest of the landscape, it just dominates the whole area. So it's about 11:15. I just had about 15 minutes ago, I stopped for a break and a snack, and been continuing along. So this morning all I've seen are day hikers and a couple of overnight hikers. But a few minutes ago it was kind of interesting. I must be getting close to a trailhead. There was about 10 people, day hikers, looking at the flowers, and they said hi and everything, but I asked, because they weren't, some of them weren't speaking English, and the one or two that were had a pretty heavy accent. Well, the one lady said that, asked if they minded me asking where they're from, and she said, well, we're from all over, but we're all speaking Russian. So it was kind of interesting, I guess. You meet all kinds of people, and these people seemed to be on a bit of a tour. There was one lady that was showing them flowers and, stopping to look at the different plants. They're going to have a lot to see. This is a really beautiful hike here right now. If my day goes like this is going to be possibly, just looking behind me, I thought there was someone there maybe. This might possibly be one of the best days of hiking on the PCT. It's relatively flat. There's some rocks, but not many. The weather is just about perfect. It's not too hot, and there's a bit of a breeze occasionally. So, and you can see here, this is what's happening when someone's coming along and cutting up the dead. Here, I'll show it to you this way. So, well maintained. And as you can notice, the trail, look at that. I mean, there's a lot of this kind of trail today. So, as I said, I hope the rest of the day goes like this. It'll be nice. So I made it to that trailhead that I thought was here. And there's cars, of course, parked here. But here's the favorite part. There's a bathroom. If I can avoid digging a cat hole anytime, I'll take one of these for sure. So anyway, not the most exciting part of the day, but an important one. So I've been walking through some pretty nice forest and meadow area. But this is, you get these rocky sections once in a while. That, just a landslide. And then I happened to notice there's Mount Shasta. Kind of nicely framed up there. And the thing about the trail right now, I'm heading west and southwest, and then a little more south, and then we kind of curl around west and then north and then back east before the Oregon border. So if you were to find a map of the Pacific Crest Trail, you'd see this kind of bulge towards the west, and that's what I'm starting right now. It's kind of like California wants you to do these extra miles before you get out of the state. But it's all right. It's just part of the miles that have to be done. All right, it's the end of the day. It's just after 5 o'clock. I'm gonna set up my tent here, not too far from the creek. I'm at mile 1551 in a little bit. Did 18.3 miles today. And it was, I think I was mentioning earlier how nice it was. Got a little tougher at the end with the climb, but it wasn't a terrible climb. Just that at the end of the day, it's hard on you. You've had enough, kind of. Especially, this is only my 5th day. 2 days down around Chester and 3rd here, so my legs and feet aren't quite up to it yet. There is a campground about a mile ahead with tables, bathrooms. There's a camp host, but it's a real, I guess, drop to get to it. I can see the lake from here, so I'm not going to risk it. It's just, well, it's just too much work. I'm being lazy. So 1551, this is the 3rd day, 3 more days to Etna, and we'll see how many miles I'll do each day. I'm hoping that I get a lot more trail like I just had today, because if I do, then I can get into Etna earlier in the day. Well, good morning. Wednesday, July 1st. Happy Canada Day to the Canadians, myself included. Hope when you see this that you look back and think, yeah, that was a pretty good day for Canada Day. Like, I'm hoping weather-wise and stuff for you. But also that you have a good day. So, it's about 7:45. Started at 6:20 this morning. Boy, it was a lazy start. Just felt good and everything, but I just didn't want to get out of my quilt. But I did, obviously, and here I am. It's been chilly. I'm still wearing my puffy coat, drinking my coffee, which I haven't told you about before. I just put instant coffee in some water and drink it cold. And you do get used to it. At least I do. When I got up, I started walking, and the sun was behind me, which means I was headed west. Right now, it's slightly to my left and in front of me, so I'm kind of headed southwest. But that's part of this big circle that I have to take. The other thing I'm noticing this morning are the deer tracks. And I forgot to mention, I think, but I see deer tracks on the trail a lot. They must really prefer using these trails to move around. And I do see the odd one, but haven't for a couple days. I filmed the last one there. The other thing I've noticed last 2 or 3 days is a lot of horse manure. So it is a equestrian trail too. Manure wasn't that fresh, but it's obvious that horsewomen do like to come out here. And there are roads crisscrossing in the back here. You don't see them very often. Forestry roads. Some of them are even paved, like that one up to the park's trailhead there. So pretty nice if you want to make the trip. And then here's a PCT marker. It's just a post, and you can barely see it, but there is a PCT emblem. So you see these every once in a while. And so I'm hiking through. It is starting to warm up a little bit, so my puffy coat can come off here pretty soon. A couple of things I forgot to mention. So I didn't have the greatest tent site last night. The area was nice, but the site itself was pretty tight. But I got in there. I think I mentioned that I hadn't seen anybody from the park's trailhead to where I camped. And that was 5 hours, five and a half hours, I think. About 10 miles. So I set up my tent and crawled in, and about an hour later, I guess about 8 o'clock or so, because I go in early. If there's no one to talk to, I just go lay in the tent. But about an hour later, so 8 o'clock-ish, a hiker did come by, going the same direction as me, so northbound. So that's the only one. And I'm sure there'll be more today, at least I think there will be. And then another thing I wanted to mention is today the trail's pretty good. There've been a couple blowdowns like this one right here. I have to make my way across. And that's how you do that. And I don't know if you can see it, there it is. So, but all morning I've just been carrying my trekking poles. Trail's so good. There's some up and there's some down. There's a couple spots where I use them, but basically I've just been carrying them. And one of the things that I believe, and I've seen other hikers say this too, is that you go faster without your poles. So even in even in poor trail conditions, although I'm not that confident on my feet, but days like today, there's some rocky sections, but it's pretty flat, pretty good. There was even some trail back there ways that had pine straw as part of the path, and there's nothing better than that. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just hiking and carrying my poles. Okay, so it's just been a couple of minutes since I last spoke, and I was talking about the trail and went over that blowdown, and then saw this one. And these are the monsters that I really don't like. It just takes time. In this case, this one I'm gonna have to take my pack off, go underneath and do it that way. But yeah, they're just time killers, especially if you get a lot of them, and hopefully we don't. So this must be fairly recent, I'm thinking. Well, I made it. And I didn't have to take my pack off. I was able to crouch and crawl my way under. So, kind of made my morning so far. And here's the view. All right, it's noon. I've been here for a few minutes. I'm at a place called Scott Mountain Campground. Very nice place. It's right next to Highway 3, but very little traffic. And there's picnic tables. There's supposed to be pit toilets somewhere. I haven't seen them yet. I'll take a look later, I guess. Not a huge deal. And I've seen one camper in here, like a mobile home. So, not a mobile home, excuse me, an RV. Anyway, this is where I'm taking my lunch break. I did 10.6 miles this morning, so pretty happy with that. Once I have a bite to eat and stretch for a bit, relax. I took my shoes off. I will continue. About an hour ago, northbound hiker came past me, so from behind, and we didn't speak. We just said hi to each other. He was a younger guy, tall, and he moves so easily. But of course, he's probably through hiking, and his legs are used to this too. But anyway, nice to see a northbounder. I'm sure I'll see more. Okay, some more nice trail. It's a bit of a climb coming from that campground, but it wasn't terrible. I did something there that I haven't done in a long time, hiking, and that is have a nap on the picnic table for about 15 or 20 minutes. So now I'm, as you can see, some more blowdowns, but I just passed a bit of a milestone. Excuse me while I try and navigate this. And this. Okay, so that milestone doesn't mean much until you put it into context what today is, because today is Canada Day, or as it used to be called, Dominion Day. So it's still a bit uphill here. So I just passed the 1562.5 mile marker. Nothing significant about that, except when you're converted into Canadian, it's exactly 2,500 kilometers that I've hiked on the PCT. Somehow that sounds better. It's about 3:15. I'm taking a break on a rock here on the side of the trail. I'm in what's called the Trinity Alps Wilderness now, and that's what I can see today so far. And then over here, there it is again, Mount Shasta. All right, I'm at mile 1567 and change. Did 16.5 miles today. Could have went a little further, I guess, but I like the spot here. Not so much the tent spot, but there's water nearby, and it's a little bit further before I get to another tent site with no water, so I decided to stop. Anyway, I'm happy about it. Another nice day. Really good mileage this morning and pretty good mileage this afternoon. I kind of took my time. So here I am, and all things going the way they should. I'll be in Etna in 2 days. So anyway, happy July 1st once again. And also happy birthday to my good friend and neighbor Brian. Hope you have a good one.